In Thailand, Phuket has become a luxurious new playground for rich Russians fleeing Vladimir Putin's war. British universities accept £50 and 70 pence a million from high-risk firms with Chinese military links, study finds.
Toronto doctor who sexually abused patients has harmed medical profession but will keep license after third suspension. In the USA, court cites clergy penitent privilege in dismissing child sex abuse lawsuit against Mormon church. In the U.S., conservative parents look to exit public schools after progressives dominate board elections. Trudeau calls attacks on Jewish institutions as acts of terrorism. At a custody hearing in SP, Brazilians arrested on suspicion of links to Hezbollah deny planning acts. "I'm not a terrorist." Israel PM responds to Macron, Hamas responsible for civilian deaths in Gaza, don't condemn Israel. Macron calls on Israel to stop killing Gaza's women and babies. Board of SAG-AFTRA approves the strike-ending contract on 86% vote.
In Grammy nominations, SZA, Phoebe Bridgers, Taylor Swift, Barbie movie, lead the way. Warner Brothers plans to submit 2 original songs from The Color Purple, plus 1 Wonka tune sung by Timothée Chalamet.
The Marvels heading to lowest opening ever for Disney MCU, at $47 million to $55 million, despite Star's last-minute promotion following the actors' strike. Composer of Coyote vs. Acme, Stephen Price slams the Warner Brothers for bizarre anti-art studio financial shenanigans over Pixar. Director Dave Green is beyond devastated. Moody's sees the new WGA, SAG-AFTRA contracts, costing studios up to $600 million a year.
Billionaire, Trump donor, Peter Thiel backs down. "A lot of things I got wrong," and Peter Thiel say, the Trump administration couldn't get the most basic pieces of the government to work. Democrats plan to subpoena Harlan Crow and other wealthy Supreme Court donors.
New York may take Donald Trump off ballot. Trump warns he could certainly indict political opponents if he's re-elected. Hillary Clinton compares Donald Trump to Adolf Hitler.
Finnish investigators confirm recovered anchor belongs to Chinese vessel. Losing ground to the alliance of rebels, Myanmar junta faces biggest test since coup, and Myanmar fighting blocks key trade routes with China.
Germany approves global minimum corporate tax. In Italy, the Lazio Regional Administrative Court has annulled the decree requiring petrol stations to display the average price of fuel. Netanyahu says IDF will control Gaza after war, rejects notion of international force. IDF says troops found Hamas drone manufacturing plant, weapons depot in Gaza residential building. No Canadians approved to leave Gaza on Friday were able to exit, says Canada's Global Affairs. At least 34 people in Dublin overdose on very potent heroin batch as HSE issues fresh warning. Late Queen's cousin is handed a driving ban after Earl is caught drunk at the wheel of his £100,000 Mercedes. Syrian-German hiking group mistaken for refugees, then the police arrive. In order to maintain order, France buys more than €78 grenades. EU breaks up App Store, Apple warns of significant negative effects. iOS 17.2 hints at Apple moving towards letting users sideload apps from outside the App Store. iOS 17.2 to expand sensitive content warnings on iPhone. Amazon Fire tablets and other gear will reportedly switch away from Android. Founder, who suffered eye damage at Bored Ape Yacht Club event, sends formal legal notice to Yuga Labs. SEC Chair Gensler says anybody wanting to be in crypto must do it within the law. Justin Sun-owned exchange Poloniex has been hacked for at least $126 million. FTX sues the crypto firm Bybit to recover assets worth $953 million. Michael Saylor's massive crypto bet crosses $1 billion in unrealized profit. Crypto.com admitted to the World Economic Forum. Swiss financial giant UBS now offers crypto ETFs to wealthy clients in Hong Kong, claimed in report. G20 nations agree to reform crypto regulation in response to rapidly changing world.
Manchester United confirmed defender Johnny Evans is out for several weeks after straining his thigh in dramatic 4-3 loss to Copenhagen in the Champions League. ICC suspends Sri Lanka cricket's membership over political interference. Elon Musk fires back after Sam Altman slams Grok chatbot as cringy boomer humor. China's largest chip maker SMIC posts an 80% drop in third-quarter profit. Maker of the Wegovy, Novo Nordisk pumps $6 billion to boost production as an obesity drug rival Zepbound is approved. American Airlines announces new flights to Mexico, Japan and more. Honda will give auto workers 11% raise after UAW's big wins.
People never visited by loved ones more likely to die earlier. Study finds 59% of women detected with breast cancer after it spread. Colombia passes ambitious junk food law to tackle lifestyle diseases. England set to be first country to offer gonorrhea vaccine after cases spiral to record high.
World's first chimeric monkey born using embryonic stem cells, with 2 sets of DNA. New York's beehives are contaminated with pesticides. Toxic smog chokes Pakistan and shuts cities. Almost 6,000 tons of scrap metal collected, within Clean Arctic project. Iceland declares state of emergency over volcanic eruption threat.
Baldur's Gate 3's Xbox Series S optimization has resulted in 34% reduction in VRAM usage. Sledgehammer calls Modern Warfare 3 a labor of love after Crunch reports. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 release sees UK's biggest ever gaming traffic for internet service providers. ICBC's hack led to unit temporarily owing Bank of New York Mellon $9 billion, sources say, and ransomware attack on China's biggest bank disrupts treasury market trades, and the world's biggest bank has to trade via USB stick after hack. Australia says port interruption from cyber attack to last days. In the US, Maine government says data breach affects nearly all state residents. YouTube Music starts rolling out an ability to add podcasts via RSS. Meta strikes a deal with Tencent to sell VR headset in China, reports WSJ. GitLab expands its AI lineup with DuoChat.
Rogue daycare workers, busted for allegedly running child fight ring. COVID-19 aid thieves, bought fancy cars, a Pokemon card, even a private island.
Netflix cuts 1/3 of feature animation division as part of strategic overhaul. Ryan Gosling to receive Kirk Douglas Award for Excellence in Film from Santa Barbara International Film Festival. In Egypt, after losing 2 million followers, Bayoumi Fuad closes his official Facebook account.
Total Energies nears the deal to buy Texas gas power plants. McKinsey pushes fossil fuel interests as advisor to UN climate talks, whistleblowers say. European Investment Bank to back Barbados debt for climate swap. Banking tycoon invests in new $500 million university in Nigeria. Trump's 40 Wall Street loan transferred to special servicer. Trump's lawyers have a risky plan to call as many as 3 Trumps back to the stand at his fraud trial, starting with Donald Trump Jr. FBI seizes New York City Mayor Eric Adams' phones as part of federal investigation into fundraising. Columbia and MIT discipline student groups for anti-Israel protests. Pro-Palestinian protesters block entrances to UK's Bay defense plant. France expels Palestinian activist to Egypt. Sula Braverman offers her full backing to the Met Police after newspaper article Rowan ahead of pro-Palestinian march on Armistice Day. Home Secretary warns criminals must be dealt with robustly, while PM issues plea for unity. U.S. credit rating outlook changed to negative by Moody's. UBS says high spending, inflation and interest rates will fuel a decade of growth. Whoopi Goldberg tells Gen Z and millennials that the reason they can't get on the housing ladder is because they only want to work 4 hours a day. In Turkey, Erdogan stokes judicial crisis, calling for new constitution. Far-right hosts are blaming the GOP's big election losses on Taylor Swift.
Israeli death toll estimate is revised to 1,200, down from 1,400. Blinken says, too many Palestinians killed in Israel-Hamas war, as U.S. voices concern over killing of Palestinians, as Gaza death toll tops 11,000. Palestinians ask war crimes court to probe Israel over genocide allegations.